guys, what's going on? I'm Joslyn Davis in the studio for the third episode of the Breaking Dawn Book Club. As always, I'm joined by my partner in crime, the lovely and talented Miss Dana Ward.
Hi guys.
And we also have with us today from Clever Music, Bridget Daly, our in-house Twihard.
Hey, what's up guys?
And we are super excited to have one of our friends from Cambio. It's Lisa Heiser.
Hello.
Yay.
So Lisa, you're a Twihard too?
I am. I'm getting there. I'm a
Okay.
fan of the movies.
Okay.
I'm a little slow on the books, but
That's all right. That's
Okay.
why we're here.
That's why I have both.
That's why
right.
we have the book club. Exactly.
Right.
So as you guys know, we left off last time with chapter 4, wrapped that up, and now it is on to chapter 5 and 6, and there is some action in these
the
chapters.
spicy stuff.
Oh yeah.
seriously.
Very much so. So we're gonna go ahead and kick things off right away with chapter 5. It's Isle Esme. And of course, those of you guys who've read the book know where this is going. They're heading out to their honeymoon, and they have this like epic trek to get there. They have to take a domestic flight, to an international flight, to a boat, and meanwhile, Bella has no idea where they're going. And then they hop on this boat and go off to this island. What do you think about the idea? I know we kind of discussed this, but now that it's actually happening, going on a honeymoon, you have no idea where you're going.
I think it's amazing. Sign me up.
think
I
it's a
mean,
great
as
idea.
long as the packing is done correctly and not by a man, then I'm okay with it, because you know how guys are like, I'll bring a pair of boxers and socks and then I'll be fine for the week, right?
It's crazy. And another thing that really sticks out, obviously, about the name of this chapter, Isle Esme, obviously it's named for Bella's new mother-in-law. Carlisle, no biggie, just bought her
Love an island.
I love it.
It's ridiculous.
So Richard Branson of
Yeah.
him.
So true, it is so Richard Branson. Now, a big part of the arrival is that, you know, they're both kind of freaking out. There are a lot of nerves. I think you guys know why.
And no, why?
Expectations
Even
on the table.
For what?
And on the bed.
for what,
And on the floor.
But it's expected.
Well, they're married. I mean, it's like really sweet.
So that makes it perfectly okay, people.
Are we gonna tiptoe around this subject?
We're gonna see how many ways we can say
Yes.
it.
Yeah, Bridget, what was
Yeah.
your favorite
Test it
term
out.
for this chapter?
Fornication.
Fornication, that's right, people. That's what we were talking about. But first, I want to know if you guys were surprised that Edward was nervous. He's a vampire. He shouldn't be nervous about anything.
A little.
Everyone is
Yeah.
awestruck. No one knows what to say.
I think it kind of goes along with Edward's other emotions. He's emotional about everything. He's
That's
emotional
true.
about everything Bella, so it makes sense that he wouldn't want to hurt her. He's anxious, he's excited, but mostly really scared because he doesn't want to hurt her.
I mean,
Exactly.
he's been waiting so many years. How old is he? So many years.
Over
for,
100, right?
For this moment.
But let's just get this straight.
But I mean, if he's
Let's
been
just
around
get this
that
straight,
long,
Dana.
shouldn't
He
he
just-
be a little experienced and not
Yeah, but
so
this is-
nervous?
This is his love.
Okay, but
Y'all,
guys,
this is
he
true
is
love.
not as
Different.
nervous as Bella, as like, I mean, he wants it, sort of, but like Bella's the one that's really pushing for it. So let's just,
She's
Maybe
Call
that's
it
what
spade a
makes him
spade.
so nervous, is that she's
Exactly.
so pushy for it
Right.
that he's like, whoa, wait a second.
Exactly.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But so they get there, and he's like, you know, let's go slow. Let's take a swim, a midnight swim first.
I love that.
And I'm gonna give you some time to like get yourself together. And this is when Bella like starts freaking out.
Yeah.
She
Totally.
like, brushes her teeth, takes a shower.
Sits on the floor.
I just thought it was really interesting how the tables were turned, because I feel like all the time, you know, throughout all these books, Bella's been the one that's been like, obviously Edward has had nerves about certain things as well, but normally like he's the one soothing her and calming her down. And once she gets out to the water, I feel like the tables have really, really turned.
Or the tides, if you will.
Or the tides, exactly. And then I mean, there's like the scene where the moon is overhead, and it's just so beautiful. Are you guys excited to see this in the movie?
I cannot wait to see what they do with all of these beautiful scenes.
Yeah, and I remember there were
excited.
pictures that came out a few months ago, and they were shooting in St. Thomas, and I've been there before, and it's amazing. So I can just imagine the like moonlight on the water type of thing, and the Caribbean landscape. It's absolutely beautiful. I
It's
mean, you
gonna
can't
be
get any better than
beautiful.
that.
So we flash forward to the next morning after their wedding night, and you know, Bella wakes up. She's like the happiest she has ever been. She's just like flying
Which
on
is
cloud
insane
nine. Yeah,
Sorry.
Some emotions.
she is
Yeah,
really
she's
happy.
happy.
But Edward not so happy here. Were you guys surprised by that at all when you first read it?
I mean, seeing the state that she was in might be a little disturbing to wake up to. And the fact that she didn't even really realize it until he had to point it out. Because you have to be like, well, look, I hurt you here, 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 and here. And look what I did to the room. I mean, that's kind of awkward to tell your wife.
And people seem to be, because I've been questioning people on Twitter and Facebook a lot about the honeymoon in general. People are obsessed with this feather thing. Are you guys obsessed? I mean, Lisa, what do you think about this whole feather thing?
I really don't get it. It's kind of creepy to me.
Yeah.
Like that was that intense, and they like latch onto the feathers. Like, that's so pretty.
Yeah, and they're like everywhere. She's totally covered in feathers and bruises, and then finally, after they go back and forth for a while, sort of arguing about this situation, he then finally comes out and says, "This was the best night of my existence." After all of that. And she's like, she even tells him, "You're ruining my buzz." She even says that.
Good, she needs to take control of the situation.
I agree. She gets very controlling in these 2 chapters, by the way. What did you guys
We
think?
see a new Bella, really.
Yeah, what did you
Brand
think
new
about
Bella.
this new, like, sex-crazy Bella?
I think it's so interesting to see a new side
Definitely.
to Bella. Something we've never seen before.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and it sort of prepares us for the new Bella that we're going to meet later on. So it's kind of her taking control of her life and being like, this is what I want. I've wanted this the whole time. We're here. Let's do it.
At this point, we sort of get the first time where Bella is, like, so incredibly hungry. Did you guys think this was weird at all? Just the mention of how hungry she was.
I did. I
Kind
thought
of
that was
strange,
a little
you know?
interesting. Yeah, just considering that, we don't know what's going to happen next. And so you're like, well, what's going on? Is she just enjoying her honeymoon? Is she in that, like, I'm in vacay mode, which all people get
you
into.
wanna eat a lot when you're on
Just
vacation.
eat, just kind of indulge. But really, in the back of my head, I thought what was really coming.
Really?
happening.
Did you?
Definitely,
Okay. Did you
yeah.
guys think that this was
I
coming?
feel like that's really fast, but I mean, it is half vampire, so
First
that's
time
not
the charm.
human.
Yeah, and that was a
charm.
really
You never
sped up
know.
process. So exactly, she'd be feeling those symptoms like way quicker.
Yeah,
So
like
true.
the next day.
Yeah,
That's pretty crazy. Should the baby
so-
pop out the next time then?
Yeah,
the next day,
exactly.
it's like,
So now we're moving on to chapter 6, which is called Distractions. And this is where we pick up after Edward tells her, "I'm not going to sleep with you again until after you're a vampire." So instead, he attempts to basically tire her out, like I feel like he would with a little kid that you're babysitting. Like, let's run around
Yeah.
all day long so that you'll stop bugging me about sexing it up. And I think this is like really, really funny. And
is
I
funny.
think this is us moving into Bella's seduction period. What did you guys think about her just like being so bold throughout this chapter?
It's hilarious because it's so not like her character.
yeah.
And you don't know what she's gonna do next, and I think it's funny.
it'd be funny to see it on the screen, I think, too. Like,
I know, right?
just that chemistry between them, and it'll be
Definitely.
interesting.
I'm interested to see how it plays out on camera because I feel like it is going to be kind of funny. Like, we're going to see that side to them, like the playful side, and we'll see him kind of like in his head thinking, okay, what can I do next to distract her? Because I know she only has one thing on her mind.
Yeah.
She's crazy.
So she puts on the most scandalous thing that she can find in that suitcase that her sister-in-law sent her with. And
Alice, again.
she goes out and like prances around in front of him and is like, "What do you think?" And he like perks up for a second, then he's just like, "Huh, I know what you're doing." And then she does the craziest thing ever, which I think is so awesome. She's like, "We're gonna compromise. I'm going to go to college for a semester now, just so you'll have sex with me." Like, I thought this was awesome.
She's a businesswoman, really.
I loved this.
I feel like she needs some
What she wants.
therapy. Like, I know that they're married and all, but to say that's not a very good bribe. I feel like, oh, I'll go to college. That's something you tell your parents. It's like,
Yeah,
if you give me a car, I'll go to college.
Yeah.
But I want to spend a night with you, so I'll go to college. Like,
Yeah,
it's a little out there.
Hard-bearing.
Yeah.
That's when
Yeah.
you know you want it really bad.
Right.
Really bad.
And she knows what's gonna happen when they do it, so it's like, do you like that pain? You're a little,
Me,
Oh,
an
Interesting.
adventurous type.
And so, this happens like right as they're going to sleep, and she had been having these weird dreams. Aside from the hunger, she'd also been having these crazy dreams. They had sort of already talked about it prior to this, but she wakes up mid-dream, and she's like, starts crying, and Edward's like so worried about her, and she's like in this like just desperate state, and she refuses to tell him what is the dream about. But then she successfully seduces him again. kudos to you, Bella. Well done.
Props.
Another bold
Maybe it
move.
wasn't really a dream. Maybe it was part of her plan to get some.
She thought about it so much that
Yeah, do you guys think
it's
that's
just like
possible?
subconscious.
Yeah.
And in the morning, they wake up and Bella's this time like afraid. She's nervous. She's like, he's gonna be upset. And then he says, "You never told me what your dream was about." And she's like, "Well, but I showed him." Oh my god. So awesome and hilarious. And they're basically ruining the house at this point because they ruined the one room, feathers everywhere, and now the broken headboard.
But it doesn't matter because they own the island.
It's true.
But the people that are cleaning the house.
Right, which is coming up at a little bit later in this chapter. They're gonna get super, super suspicious. And again, we see sort of some weird signs from Bella at this point. We see that she has like vertigo and fatigue. And part of me was thinking, oh, you know, jet lag or something. Did you guys think right away pregnancy?
I did just because I knew what was going to happen in the story, so I saw it coming. Like it was like flashing lights in my face.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're getting to the part where some new people enter the scene because so far in these 2 chapters it's been only Bella and Edward, and this cleaning crew comes in to take care of this huge mess that they've made, essentially.
Feathers galore.
I mean, that number one is suspicious. If you, like we said, that would be really strange and a definite thing that you would sort of say, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But these people sort of have their own legend, right? The people that are from Brazil that are cleaning the home, they have this legend in their own culture that there's this demon that preys upon beautiful women, which is really crazy, I think, because it's weird to think that someone is on to the Cullens or on to the vampires in general. I'm trying to remember, have there been any people specifically in the books that you guys can remember that thought they were vampires? Obviously, there's like weird things about them, but I feel like this is the first
Definitely
point.
not. Yeah, because that's part of the reason why I like this book is that not everybody is on to vampires. Like Charlie, when all the stuff is happening in Seattle, he's not like, it must be a vampire. It's not like True Blood style where everyone's like, cool, there's vampires in our town, you know? Like they obviously think it's a serial killer. You know what I mean? So this is really interesting that it's like a worldwide thing. It's all secretive.
And then this chapter wraps up with Edward whisking Bella away into one of the bedrooms, which is, I mean, we don't know what happens, but you can kind of guess what you think is about to happen. So if you guys had to sort of like sum up these chapters, what would you say really stood out to you?
Sexy time.
Was it everything that you thought it would be though? Because obviously the honeymoon
I
is
don't
so
know, I
highly
wasn't there.
anticipated.
Well, there's such a build-up, you know? There's such a build-up to this moment that it's like, I think they did a really good job of, you know, keeping you in suspense, especially after the first time it had happened. Like, you know, you kind of like feel like Bella, where you're like, okay, you want to hear more. Like you want to know without being too gross and like wanting to know everything.
Yeah.
But you know, you kind of are like, all right, so is he gonna give her more or what? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And we actually reached out to the viewers for your reactions on a few of the big moments within these chapters. And I asked you guys on Facebook, when did you start to think that something was maybe going awry with Bella? And I loved the feedback that we got, so I'm going to read a few of your guys' responses. This comes from Darlene Leonard over on Facebook, and she said that she started to notice something was going weird with Bella when she kept having weird dreams, and even though she wasn't sleeping well, she just kept eating eggs all the time. Eggs. There was a lot of mention of eggs. Why do you think they chose that food?
Eggs,
Feathers?
you know,
Maybe
her eggs.
Yeah.
Part of the process.
You're
I'm
right.
saying.
I love that. And then Samantha Leanne, also on Facebook, said that she knew something weird was going on when she got so emotional over the dream with her and Edward, which does make sense. But then at the same time, was she really emotional or was she just trying to get something? Something.
We'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. Now, as far as a favorite part of the honeymoon, people had a lot of responses. Everyone was obsessed with the feathers. How are they going to live up to this in the movie?
Well, feathers are really in this season, so I think that might be
You're
part
right.
of the situation.
You're
I mean,
so right.
you wear them in your hair, earrings. Really anywhere.
So
On your body.
true.
I think I
Like
have to
Bella
see the
does.
movie to understand what I think the visual of me having to see it is then when I understand why everybody's so fascinated by these feathers.
Yeah.
They
me
better
too.
do a really good
Yeah.
job with that scene.
Right.
I think people are freaking out over it, so I'm sure that they've done their work. So let's talk highlights. You said the sexy time was your highlight. What about you,
It
ladies?
was like the whole time.
It
Yeah,
was
pretty
Pretty much what the entire
Yeah.
book chapters are.
Exactly.
So.
What about you, ladies?
I really liked when she had that moment before she met Edward in the water, when she opened the suitcase and kind of like took that time for herself to get ready and get comfortable with herself. And it seemed like she definitely did.
She did. What about you, Lisa?
I'm still amused by her bargaining tactics. It just blows my mind. But then again, it makes me feel like she's just a regular. Is she still a teenager at this point?
Yeah, she's
right?
an 18-year-old
So
girl.
it makes sense, but it's just so strange.
It's
Yeah.
really sweet, and I think that's like the general undertone. Obviously, they have a very different sort of relationship because of their, mortal, immortal status. But at the end of the day, like, she is very human, and I think it's fun to see that part of her before her transformation, at least. So we want to hear from you guys about all three of those points, and then I have another question for you. This is a true, false, or maybe question. I wanted to know, does Edward know what's going on with Bella? Obviously, he knows something's going on, but do you think in the back of his mind he knows or thinks that she's pregnant and is unwilling to admit it to himself? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. It could be a possibility.
I think I'm going to hit the comment section below and weigh in.
Definitely.
Most definitely. Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining me here for the Breaking Dawn Book Club. Lisa from Cambio. What's your Twitter name so people out there can find you?
It's Lisa_Heiser, Hiser.
That is right. You've got to check her out. She's always doing amazing things. We see her on the red carpet all the time. She's totally on the inside track, believe me. And then, of course, Bridget Daly from Clever Music, keeping us up to date on actually the Twilight soundtrack. So make sure to check her out and subscribe. And then Dana Ward, my partner in crime. Thanks for joining us, or joining me and all the viewers.
Thanks,
You
guys.
guys-
This was fun.
Good times.
I
as
like the
usual.
book club.
Me too.
Maybe I'll start reading more now.
Start reading more. Educate
Encouraging.
yourself, Lisa. You guys, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to come back every Saturday because we're going to be breaking down Breaking Dawn leading up to the big premiere. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you later.
See ya.
Hey guys, thanks so much for checking out the Breaking Dawn Book Club. Now, if you like what you just watched, make sure to subscribe to ClevverTV so that you never miss an episode. Also, we really want you to go ahead and get involved in the book club. So feel free to tweet us over at twitter.com/ClevverTV using the hashtag BDBC. And then, of course, we're going to be mentioning tons of you in the Breaking Dawn Book Club. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.